You're listening to EFT Radio Online, where we explore meridian tapping techniques for self-help and peak performance. By listening to this audio, you agree to the disclaimer located at eftradio.online.com/disclaimer. If you'd like to get the schedule of all the upcoming EFT radio shows and access to archive shows, please visit us at eftradio.online.com, where you can subscribe to our free newsletter.
Are you a fellow peace seeker who is ready to shine? How would it feel to take back your personal power and be calm and centered in any situation? Join empowerment coach Stephanie Farrell for Live Your Best Life, where we'll harness the power of the law of attraction and the art of creating affirmations. Get ready to say yes to your best life.
Welcome, fellow peace seekers. I'm empowerment coach Stephanie Farrell. I'm real happy you're here today because we're talking about something that affects almost everyone at some point in their lives: overwhelm. Have you ever felt like the stress of your life was just too much? Feeling as if you're drowning in commitments? Have you ever had a to-do list a mile long and felt panicked you'll never get it done? Feeling like your head is going to explode? Do you fall into despair, wanting to give up again and again, finding yourself staring into a blank computer screen, all fuzzy-headed and snapping at your kids or your loved ones? Well, if you do, you're in the right place today. On the show, we're going to be talking about overwhelm. Overwhelm can be debilitating when it hits. And today we're going to explore what happens when we get overwhelmed, how it can affect our behaviors and hold us back, and how it disconnects us from our true self. I'll lead you in a short meditation, and then I'll share my story with you and lead you through some tapping to take the edge off of your overwhelm. You know, it's a term I hear again and again when I work with clients. They say, "I'm just so overwhelmed." It's something almost everyone experiences at some time. But what exactly happens when you feel overwhelmed? Well, it comes back to our primitive brain's response to a perceived threat. When you experience a negative emotion, your brain is on high alert. And the negative emotional state signals a primitive part of the brain called the amygdala, sometimes called the smoke detector of the brain, and sends us into the fight and flight response. In prehistoric times, this was an advantage because when there was a threat, like a predator chasing us, our muscles would tense, adrenaline would pump, and our blood pressure and blood sugars would rise so we could either stand and fight or turn and flee. But in modern-day society, most of our stresses are triggered internally as negative emotions. To our system, the perceived threat is just as real and sends the amygdala into the same reaction response. So when we're chronically overstressed, we're already on high alert and our primitive brain is running the show. When one more thing comes along, it just sends us right over the edge and into that state of overwhelm. I really do hear clients, they say they feel overwhelmed, and generally this feeling of overwhelm can mean one of three things. They're overwhelmed by their feelings, they're overwhelmed by time constraints, or they're overwhelmed by how to do things well or how to do things the right way. And sometimes this feeling of overwhelm is actually caused by how we're treating ourselves and what we're telling ourselves. When our stress level gets too high and our system is flooded, we get further and further and further from our center, away from our true selves. And then our nasty inner critic takes over and our false self or ego runs amok. By this time, we're so overcome by overwhelm, it's hard to even think of what tools we have to bring us back to center. This is where daily practice of tapping or a meditation or mindfulness practice comes in. The more we can use these tools on a daily basis, the more automatic they become, so we can reach for them at times when we really, really need them. The other side of this is that by using these tools every day, we're more able to handle our stressors in everyday life with presence, with ease, and with grace. You're grounded and you're unmessable. Overwhelm is absolutely overwhelming, and it looks very different for everyone. When our primitive brain takes over, it manifests in different ways. We can get ready to fight, and you think, well, I need to get out of this. I need to fight my way through this. Or we can get ready to flee, and literally we run away from whatever it is we perceive is causing the overwhelm. Fleeing can go a few ways. We may even find more busy work to do so that it's completely overwhelming our system. Or we use an escape tactic that runs us toward avoidance behaviors such as overeating or drinking or smoking, just in order to protect us from that overwhelm. But this in turn actually causes even more stress in our system. The last option of the primitive brain actually is to freeze. This is where you find yourself stuck, sitting at a computer and just staring off into a blank screen, looking at your to-do list and just waiting for your head to explode. When we're running on autopilot like this, we tend to see things very differently, and suddenly opportunities look like too much to handle, so we give them up. We shy away from anything that could possibly create more overwhelm. And being overwhelmed, of course, is overwhelming, so anything presented will cause us to sink even deeper into the overwhelm. When we're calm and centered, opportunities look very different to us, and we can see more clearly how to move forward toward our goals. When we're centered, clear, standing in our authentic power and operating from our true selves, the law of attraction is in action, and the things we desire to achieve flow effortlessly toward us. In a state of panic and overwhelm, operating from fear and the ego self, the law of attraction then tends to bring us more of the same. I know when I'm feeling overwhelmed, it seems like nothing is working. It's also really good to notice how your body feels when you're overwhelmed. Any emotion creates a feeling in the body, so focusing your attention on how your body feels can be helpful when you're overwhelmed. It can help us by telling us that we're heading from stress and into that overdrive state. Some people may feel a rapid heartbeat, some may be cold or feel tightness or heaviness somewhere in their body. But for me, it shows up as a feeling of panic and terror right in my gut. My head gets fuzzy, I feel edgy, and it's really hard for me to sit still. I get antsy. When I start feeling even a little bit like that, it's a warning that I need to slow down, breathe, get back to my center, and connect to my true self before I completely spin out of control. Right now, I'd like to just stop and practice connecting to our true self, our inner guide, with a short breathing awareness meditation. So if you're driving, please come back to this later for safety's sake. Otherwise, sit comfortably in your chair and honor yourself by just taking this time to reconnect. Good. Take a deep breath in and exhale. As you allow your body to become still, bring awareness to the fact that you're breathing. Become aware of the movement of your breath as you inhale and as you exhale, not trying to change it, just breathing. Simply aware of the breath and how it feels. Now observe your breath deep down in your belly, feeling the belly as it expands gently on your inhale. Just be here, totally observing the breath in each moment without trying to get anywhere or do anything. Give your full attention to each inhale and each exhale as they follow one another in a never-ending cycle and flow. When you notice your mind wandering off into thoughts, just simply, without judging yourself, bring your awareness back to your breath and ride the waves of your breath. Allow it to bring you back to the present moment and to tune into a state of relaxed stillness. Now become aware of any sensations in your body. As you rest your awareness on your breath, see if it's possible to expand it to sense your whole body, feeling your body from the top of the head and all the way out to the tips of the fingers and the toes. Just be here with any feelings or sensations that come up without judging them or reacting to them. Just be here from moment to moment, fully present, tuning in to your true self, connecting to the breath, and sensing the body as a whole in a state of relaxed awareness. Just be with your breath from moment to moment in stillness, not searching for anything, just being present to it all. Just be here, right now, connected, whole, and complete. Take a moment to slowly draw your awareness into the room, just allowing a little bit of light to slowly filter through the eyelashes. Take 2 deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling, and inhaling and exhale. As we end this practice, really acknowledge yourself for making the time to connect deeply with who you are.
Are you enjoying the show today? If you are, maybe it's time for you to contact Stephanie. With her experience as an empowerment coach and yoga warrior, Stephanie will help guide you through the process of releasing your blocks, stepping into your power, and living your life with purpose and peace. She'll be there every step of the way, supporting you toward building your best life. Contact Stephanie at stephennie@purpose-power-peace.com or call 416-523-7973.
So far, we've been talking about overwhelm as an occasional state brought on by chronic stress. But there are many people living for years or even decades in chronic state of overwhelm. When this happens, our system gets hardwired into a pattern that's very hard to shake. It takes digging deeper with someone to guide you through that process. For me, it wasn't too long ago that I was stuck in constant overwhelm. I behaved more like a human doing than a human being. My ego was running amok. I'd lost that connection with my true self, the truth of who I am, and this inner state of chaos was reflected right back at me on my outer life. I was really a mess. I was in a constant state of do. I take every project on that I possibly could and was wired on overdrive all the time. I was so busy I didn't even know whether I was coming or going. At that time in my life, things were very, very different. I was living in an environment that was violent and felt unsafe. Thus, my system, it got used to being on high alert, and I was constantly running away, creating more busy work and using food and cigarettes as a way to avoid the emotions and the effects of the trauma that were buried deep inside of me. Then the overwhelm and the avoidance behaviors served a purpose. It really kept me safe. But when my life changed and I suddenly found myself in a safe environment, my system was already hardwired. A few years later, when I found EFT, things changed. The more I tapped, the calmer I felt. The more my system relaxed, the clearer my mind became. As I dissolved the underlying reasons for my chronic state of overwhelm through the use of EFT, yoga, and meditation, the more I became connected to my true self. And suddenly, I was living my life on purpose, standing in my own power, and graced by inner peace. Since I've become an empowerment coach, I've worked with several people who were stuck in a chronic state of overwhelm due to some unresolved, deep emotional pain. I mean, one client I had was so completely overwhelmed by grief from losing a loved one that they'd slipped into a chronic state of overdrive for many, many years. It was the grief that was driving the state of overwhelm. It really takes going deeper, sometimes to get to the underlying cause that keeps the system in the fight, flight, or freeze response. So, although I'll be guiding you through this very generalized tapping script, it's really just meant to take the edge off of your overwhelm. But I urge you, if you find that you see yourself in a constant pattern slipping into overwhelm, or that you go deeper and deeper and deeper into despair in your overwhelm, find yourself a practitioner or a coach. If you need some guidance in this area, I'll be happy to give you guidance and support. Just reach out to me. I'm here. But now, please join me to tap in, tune in, and turn on. Let's take the edge off of your overwhelm. Begin by taking 3 calming breaths. Inhaling and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. Another breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Tapping on the side of the hand. Even though I feel overwhelmed and stressed, I accept myself and how I feel. Even though I feel so overwhelmed and unclear on what I should do, I accept myself and how I feel. Even though there's too much to do and I can't decide what to do next, I choose to feel calm anyway. Eyebrow point. Just thinking about what I need to do makes me feel overwhelmed. Side of the eye. There's just so much to do and I can't possibly get it all done. Under the eye. So much to worry about and so much on my plate. Under the nose. All of these responsibilities. I just don't have enough time. Chin. All of this tension in my body. Collarbones. I don't feel like it's safe to relax. There's just too much happening. Under the arm. The constant struggle to feel centered. Top of the head. It's hard to feel calm when I have so much on my plate. Eyebrow. It's hard to think clearly until everything gets done. Side of the eye. I can't feel calm, but I deserve to feel calm. Under the eye. I need to get it all done right now. Under the nose. If I don't feel panicked, it won't get done. Chin. If I'm not stressed, it means that I don't care. Collarbones. Are any of these things really true? Under the arm. Maybe I picked up these false ideas or these beliefs somewhere. Top of the head. All these beliefs that keep me stuck in my overwhelm. Eyebrow. I choose to acknowledge them right now. All these false beliefs. Side of the eye. And to slowly focus on my breath. Under the eye. All these beliefs that have been limiting me. Under the nose. Each time I tap, I feel more calm and centered. Chin. Each time I tap, I release these old beliefs. Collarbone. I acknowledge all these worries that put me into overdrive. Under the arm. All these worries I carry with me. Top of the head. I have a choice to let them go. eyebrow. It's safe now for me to let them go. Side of the eye. The awareness allows me to change this pattern. Under the eye, I choose to feel peace within. Under the nose, I choose to take back my authentic power. Chin. Today I choose to feel calm and relaxed. Collarbones. Today I choose to stay connected to the truth of who I am. Under the arm. The calmer I feel, the more things will go my way. Top of the head. I choose peace, joy, and love. And let's take 2 deep clearing breaths. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale and exhale. I am so grateful for you joining me today. From one fellow peace seeker to another, I say, the highest in me acknowledges and bows to the highest in each and every one of you. Namaste. Hi, this is Coach Stephanie Farrell. I understand what it's like to struggle with fear, anxiety, and frustration. I've fallen on my face more times than you care to count. But what I've learned is this: the only way to change your life is to change how you feel. I totally get how overwhelming it is to take that first step. You don't have to do this alone. Email me at Stephanie, that's STEPHENIE, at purpose-power-peace.com and claim your complimentary Breakthrough to Self-Empowerment session, where we'll create a personalized strategy for living your best life.